What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over some setups that I ended up taking this week when it came to swing trading individual names and what I'm going to be looking at going into next week. There's a lot of good setups, so I want to make this video go over some high quality setups for some swing trades. And yeah, we didn't really do too much when it came to SPY last week. It was a very slow week, or this past week. We took a loss on, I believe, Friday. I'll go over that in tomorrow's video. But yeah, there really wasn't much opportunity this week, and yeah, that's why I'm kind of changing up the video. Yeah, this video is gonna be focused on how I swing trade individual stocks. It's very simple. That's the great thing about it. Very simple system. Kind of looking for the same thing on every single like trade that I take when it comes to this way of trading. But yeah, we're just gonna go through some names that I end up taking this week, and also I got a big list of names that I'm gonna go through for next week. So first off, I'm gonna go through some that we ended up taking this week. First one is gonna be AG. I'm pretty sure this is like a silver company, so obviously if you guys have been paying attention to the metals, they've been ripping, and this was a really good winner. So yeah, you can see this is where we entered on this breakout right in this area. So what I want to look for is a stock that's made, a large move up and then it pulls back, goes sideways, and we play the breakout again. So you could literally see, if you just zoom out, you could see the same setup happen like probably 5 times. Like if we look, or even if we pull it back right up in here, I mean, you can just scroll back and see all the breakouts we've had. And first major one was this one. I mean, we've been kind of pulling back for what, October to like, it's been like a month, and you could see this little setup form. This isn't the entry I took, but you can just see it. It's very clear. You can kind of just draw this little trend line. Okay, I need to take this off. You can kind of draw this little trend line up in here, and we end up breaking out right up in here. And how you would play this is very simple. So when we come up into this area right up near this resistance area, I'd want to see this break right here of this high. So if we look here, I'm always playing like these high day breaks. So right up in here, when we come into that trend line, you want to be playing the previous day high break, and that's your entry point. So when we break above that on like the 5-minute, that's your entry. So if we go to the 5-minute now, this is where I'd be taking the entry, and where I do take the entry. So you can see this previous day high end up getting broken right off of open, right in here, I think, or not right, yeah, right off open. You can see nice candle close above on massive volume, and if it's a little bit extended, you could wait for a pullback to like the moving averages. Like I use the 10 and I think the 20 or 21 EMA on my 5-minute. I mean, I don't really use it for anything crazy. That's more so like just gauging the trend on the daily and seeing where we're at. And I kind of use those for like trailing stops. But if you wanted to take an entry on them like intraday, and if we get like a massive move above the level, wait for the pullback to the moving averages, that could be your entry. But yeah, you could get in as this level's breaking. I mean, it's the first 5-minute candle. It could be really volatile. So if anything, you could have waited for that next candle to pull back a little bit and get in. And then your stop loss goes to low day, which obviously would have been right up in here. You never got stopped out. And I don't know why that went right there, but yeah, your stop loss never got hit. Almost did, but yeah, move your stop loss to low day, and that's how I like playing these. I mean, you know, sometimes your low day stop may be too much, and at that point, you kind of just trail the moving averages, or just put yourself at a good risk reward with your entry, or like expiration you take, not entry, but your expiration you take. So if it's a wider stop, you can just go a little bit further out expiration if you want. But this is exactly how I play these entries. I mean, it's very simple. Previous day high break, stop loss goes to low day. If it's a little bit wider, obviously I'm not going to hold till that like all the way low day. It just really depends on the expiration I take and how much of a move it is to that low day. So yeah, I mean, this setup has happened on AG a million times, and you could literally keep playing it if you want. You could average up on your trade if you want, but it has happened so many times. Where was I? So yeah, that was like the initial breakout right up in here, and we hit new highs right up in this area. And what happened again? That same setup formed again right here. Same setup. We had this little pullback going, and we ended up breaking this little trend line. The trend line is not like that important. Like, it doesn't matter how you draw, because our entry doesn't come from the trend line. It comes from the previous day high break. So you can see right up in here, like I wouldn't have taken it on this day. I would have taken it most likely on this day, and this will be interesting to see how this ended up playing out. You maybe gotten stopped on it if it did not, if it went higher first to start the day. Let's see. If we pull back here, 5-minute time frame of where this ended up happening. And yeah, so right off open, what happened? So I think did we reject that right off open? No, it was the next day. So where did we end up breaking out of this? Is this the right level? Let's see here. So this is the high day on Tuesday. I'm confused because didn't it end up dropping? Okay, yeah, so right off open, we ended up dropping, and we never broke that high day yet, and then we finally got the closure above, and look what happened. I mean, it's very textbook. We got the closure above the level right on this candle, closed above. You can wait for a little bit of a pullback, maybe. You know, I mean, this isn't the worst entry in the world if you got in on this dip right here, but yeah, a little bit extended from that level. A lot of times I do get in while it's breaking. Sometimes I don't always wait for the closure, just because this will happen a lot of times when we're breaking out. We'll get a very explosive candle above, and boom, I mean, we got a fat runner. So when it comes to take profits, I kind of just you know, look for like 40-50%, trim half, move my stop, break even, and then just trim along the way up. That's pretty much how I go about take profits. I don't really look at levels on the chart. I kind of just scale out on the way up. Like your ultimate trailing stop, in my opinion, would be like the like 10 SMA or 10 EMA. We close below that. That could be like your trailing runners. But yeah, I mean, this has literally happened time and time again. You can see we kind of got it like right here. It's not the cleanest setup in the world, but we got this little breakout right up in here, and you'd be playing this high day right here. You break above this high, you get in, and obviously this didn't give that much of a move. It's not the cleanest looking setup in the world, but yeah, I mean, if we pull up the let me put the 10 EMA on here just so I could or do they even have EMA on here? I'll just put the moving average then. This is, I'm assuming this is the 10. So yeah, I mean, you probably would have gotten stopped out on this if you did end up taking it. I mean, like I said, it's not the cleanest one in the world. You would have been up nicely on this gap right up in here. Who knows? I don't even know how much that would have been up, but yeah, I mean, you could have gotten trailed out of this. I mean, you'd probably, I mean, honestly, you would have probably closed this right around break even when the daily closed below. You could have just sold. Or if you want to go a little bit aggressive, you go with the you could go, that's actually the 9 moving average. I don't know what the 10, it's probably not much different. But if you really want to go like with a little bit of a looser stop, then you could go with the 20 or 21 EMA. Oh my god, what am I doing? Settings. I'm not sure. We probably ended up holding the 20. Let's see. If we move it, yeah, I mean, we barely, I mean, yeah, see, like, I wouldn't end up selling that for a close below because that really is not a significant close below. So it's all depends on your risk you want on the trade. You could trail the 10 on your trade, or if you think it's a really good looking setup still and you're still really bullish, use the 20. But usually I use the 10 after we get like a good decent move. So I mean, this trade still ended up playing out, and it did set up again. I mean, this next setup is the one that I actually ended up taking. So I'm gonna get rid of all this other stuff, but this next setup is the one I ended up taking, and I actually didn't get in on the initial breakout. So I ended up just getting in on this pullback right in here. So I had the 10 and the 20 EMA on my charts, and I got in right on this pullback to them. This is exactly where I entered on the 7th. I grabbed a couple months out. I grabbed the April calls. I think it was the 35 calls. There was just a load of volume on those. It was like the most traded one, so that's why I ended up grabbing those. And that's something I do pay attention to, is like which contract is getting traded the most on whatever name I'm watching, because that's going to be the most liquid. And it's also good to see like what contracts are getting lit up, because if people are buying a load of, you know, far out the money strike on a name, like that's something that's definitely, you know, worth paying attention to. And that's exactly what happened on this one. When I bought this dip down here, the 35 calls for April were getting absolutely loaded on them, like millions of dollars, I believe, on them. And you can see the move. And I just literally trailed the 10. Let me just get rid of the volume on this chart because I don't really need it. Let me put the 10 on, because this is where I just trail. Like at this point, I'm like out of the most position here, and I'm only in runners, and I'm just using this 10 SMA or EMA, whatever, moving average. I don't even know if it's EMA, SMA. I don't know which one this is, but we have the EMA on. So all I'm doing is just trailing this 10 SMA. Like, it's very simple. You can see we end up pulling back to it. we held it and we went higher, and we're continuing to go higher. I mean, I'd love to sell all this at the at all-time highs, which is at, I think it's like 26.50 or something like that, because I remember checking this. Yeah, 26.53. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up hitting this on Monday. I'm pretty sure it's up after hours like a percent or two. So 26.53, that's probably where I'm going to take it all off at. I mean, we're up like 200, I think like 60%. Let me check my Webull, but I'm pretty sure that we're up like 250, 260 on this. Yeah, 263 right now. So I'm already out most, like I said, but this was like one of the really good trades we ended up taking. It was a long hold. I mean, we've been holding this for like 11 days, I believe. We ended up buying on what, the 7th, I think, 7th, and it's the 24th. So yeah, I mean, we've been holding it for quite a while, and this was a really good setup. So I spent a lot of time on that, but yeah, I just wanted to show you guys, like, the same setup formed a million times on it, and that's a good thing with some names that are just ripping. Like, you want to be paying attention to the names that are strong, and gold has been ripping, which I'm going to go over next. This is another setup I saw. I didn't enter this one, but yeah, this was a good setup. So BTG was another textbook one. You can see, yeah, I had this drawn out right up in here. So we broke above this trend line. We pulled back. You can see we're kind of just consolidating right up in here, and we finally broke out. And look at the move we got. This one, it did kind of gap and go. So like when we get like a, you know, we can't really play a previous day high break. Instead, I would just play this one. I mean, this is the simple one to play. It's like right at these highs, just play the break of that. And yeah, you most likely would have gotten paid on this. Let's see the 5-minute here, see if we actually end up getting a entry. Yeah, so you would have been paid on this. Stop loss goes a low day. Your stop never gets hit after that break of the level, and it just continues to run and run. I mean, yeah, this is, I'm not really sure what this company does, BTG, but it has gold in the name. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with probably gold mining or something like that. So yeah, just a clean breakout. We continued higher that day, 7%, and the next day another 6%, and on but Friday goes another 2%. So yeah, like, it's the same type of setups. This is one I shared in the Discord, but I didn't get an entry on it. Platinum. I mean, this was absolutely ripping, and you could just like immediately see the setup like on these. It's very simple. You can see right up in here. I mean, we literally broke out like this, and it also, I think it had a larger breakout. If I go to like the weekly, I'm pretty sure there was like a larger breakout happening. Okay, maybe not. Let me go back to the daily real quick. But yeah, I mean, it kind of broke out twice. I mean, we had this, you know, you could kind of draw it like this and broke out, but you know, this is what I ended up sharing in the Discord. We broke above. Like in this scenario, I would just use this high. I mean, once we break above there you go. We went from 272 to 347 already. I mean, this is up. This was up 19% on Friday. I mean, that's a massive move. And then 10% on what, Thursday, probably would have gotten like half of that. Probably a little bit more than that. You probably would have got like 6 or 7% possibly if you end up getting that high day break. But yeah, I mean, very nice setup on Platinum. What other one? We ended up taking CRML on Thursday, I believe. Ended up swinging this, and yeah, all we did was I ended up playing this high day break right here on Thursday, and we'll show you what happened. I was down probably 20-25% at one point. You can see we ended up breaking this high right up in here, and I got my entry. I went long on this name right here. I actually had starters. I went light size or I went half size. I forget the exact entry, but it was somewhere down in here. We ended up getting, and I averaged up my other half right up in here, and we got a nice move. I was up like 20-25%, and then we ended up getting this pullback. My stop loss was going to this previous day, low day. I mean, it probably, actually no, it probably wouldn't have held that much if I was down 25% right up in here. I doubt I would have held this entire, actually, yeah, I mean, honestly, I probably would have held up until this low day. That's, you know, if we came all the way back down here and broke below, probably would have exited that. And yeah, I didn't want to see this continue all the way down in here. So yeah, we ended up trending higher on Friday. You can see a very nice rip higher. It looks really good. I mean, this is, I mean, I'd expect this to go higher. I already trimmed half for around like 40-45%. CRML, very, very nice setup, and I think it's also, is it looking good? Okay, never mind. I thought I was breaking out like the weekly, but yeah, I mean, once we come up into like this will probably be a big level, 22.39. So that open of this weekly candle probably will be a tough spot to get over. So definitely be paying attention to that for taking profits. Then one more APLD. Let's see this setup. Very nice chart. Weekly chart looks like it's gearing up for over $40 for that new all-time high, I believe. So, or not new all-time high, over this high right up in here. You can see it broke out on the weekly. It's the same type of setup. Broke out on the weekly, right up in here, closed above. We got a little pullback, and yeah, I mean, I really don't play like the weekly chart breakouts, more so the daily. But yeah, same thing. Closure above this previous day high. Well, first we end up getting this large move up, pulling back, going sideways, broke above that high at 36.14 on the 5-minute, and we end up getting our entry right on here, right up in here. Took our entry, and this is where I say you could kind of use the moving averages if you want as like an entry, because it was a little extended for them. We ended up pulling back, tapped it to a T. You could have entered there, but I just entered right as we closed above the level. So yeah, that was my entry, and we end up just trending higher rest of the day. Again, this is another like 50% trade. We're already up 50% or 45%, whatever it was, and we trimmed half. Rest is riding at even. So yeah, I mean, this daily chart still looks really good. Looks good for higher. But yeah, that was a good looking setup. Now I'll go over some names that I do like going into next week. So I pretty much already have kind of them loaded up here. Chorus, really good night, really good looking setup. Same thing. I mean, this is like the same type of setup across all these names. Looking for, I mean, you honestly could have already entered this on Friday over this high, which I believe we ended up breaking, which was right here, this high, right up in here, closed above. This definitely extended. If you waited for the pullback, could have got in there. But yeah, it hasn't really made a move. I mean, I still think this is going to go higher. I think the weekly looks really good too. Yeah, I mean, weekly chart looks solid. But yeah, I mean, I'd say that you're already in this. If not, I mean, you can kind of enter on Monday. I didn't end up taking this yet, but this was something I did have on my watch list, but I just never entered it. So yeah, Coors is a name I like for higher. What else do we got? Wolf, another nice looking one that, okay, well, this actually already ended up breaking out. This does look really good for higher. Same thing, broke above that previous day high, and I would be targeting these upper areas and like for final take profits up in there. I'm just gonna speed through these because it's all really the same thing. I'm not gonna kind of go in detail on them, but BBAI, this is one that's looking good to set up. Obviously, we kind of need some more price action to develop before taking an entry. If we just end up ripping, I mean, I'd probably use this high as like the breakout level. Right up in here, it kind of will line up with the trend line. So above that high, I would think it would look good to take an entry. Let's see. I know this is a very, very popular name on Twitter right now. Everyone's kind of talking about this. HTZ Hertz Global. Really explosive looking chart. I mean, this thing is kind of coiled up since April, and we just kind of been, you know, stuck in this pulling back phase and consolidating. So break above 614, this thing will probably absolutely fly because it has been consolidating for so long. It's same thing on the weekly chart. You could see it. I mean, it's very clear of what's going on. This is definitely one I'd want to keep on watch. Even the monthly chart is kind of consolidating, pulling back in a flag. So Hertz, definitely one you want to be watching. Delta Airlines, another good looking one. I guess this is sitting at all-time highs just about. I know this is looking good on the daily. No entry yet. It's kind of just setting up. Same thing with like BBAI. Above this high right up in here, over 71.33. Swing it. I know I have a bunch of other names. I think Vera was another one. Yeah, so Vera, nice looking chart. The only thing though, I think I looked at the option chain. There really isn't much volume on any of the contracts, so I don't think this is one really you're gonna be able to take unless I just missed something. But that was one that I did like. RDW, this was a fat move. I mean, this is very clean. You can see what happened right up in here. Over this high, broke above intraday, and yeah, we saw a massive move higher. We got the closure above right up in here, and look at the move. I mean, $11 to $13, that's probably a 20% move on the stock. Fat move. Let's see. Bark is actually one I'm currently in. This isn't the best looking setup in the world, but we kind of have this flag forming up in here after we made this large move up, and yeah, broke above this previous day high. I didn't see it this day, so I ended up getting in on a pullback. So I'm in this for a couple months out contracts, and yeah, Bark, good looking name. I think that's, I mean, RGTI. I don't think it's like setting up really. Okay, it actually is. So, yeah, I mean, like a lot of like the RGTI, QBTS, QUBT, all kind of have the same look going. So I'd take it over this high 26, 27. It's kind of just coiling up in this area, waiting for a break. And if it breaks down, I mean, I'm only focused on swinging names long at the moment. So, yeah, that's kind of what I would be looking at for RGTI. And that's pretty much all I got. I mean, those are good majority of the names. There's probably more I have, but I mean, this video is already 20 minutes long. So, yeah, those are some names that I'm going to be looking at going into next week. And this is just how I go about the swing trades on the regular chart. It's the easiest way to do it, in my opinion. Just look for daily chart, large move up. We pull back, consolidate, watch for the breakout above the previous day high. It's very simple. So, yeah, if you guys enjoy, drop a sub. If you guys like these videos, let me know. I'll be sure to do more of them on like individual names, because I usually only focus on doing like SPY trades and system trades. So if you guys like this, let me know. I'll do more of them. But yeah, hopefully that's helpful. I'm out. Peace.